Tippy time, my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. Today, for the second time in a week, we've another run and gun strand build. I'll leave a link at the end of this video for our syntheset build. That one was all about unraveling, but this one will be all about suspension. In our Grandmasters, suspension is a mighty tool. Some might even say too powerful. And our Berserker does it the best with our super, and more importantly with 10-second barricades and 10-second grenades. All this will be vital for week 6's GM, as there is tons and tons of unstopped champions. I hope this build works for you. Thumb it if you liked it. There will be a dim link in the description below. With that said though, we begin with our aspect of Drinker's Lash. Simply put, barricade out lifts enemies up. Now the aspect alone is only the middle wave. It's our exotic, the Abeyant Leap, that is going to make for a torrent of sodomy puppets. These are easily one of the best exotics our Titan has gotten in some time. This is for two reasons. Firstly, it adds more suspension waves so we can pacify so much more. These track targets more aggressively and travel further. These reinvent the lash so much that there's almost no point in even running the aspect if you don't have these kicks on. But even better, we can gain Woven Mail when we suspend targets for 10 seconds. Woven Mail is an absolute powerhouse of damage resist, and we pretty much have an endless supply of it. This is in large part thanks to the Fragment Thread of Mind, as when we defeat targets held up in those Gimp chains, we are granted that class ability energy in return. This results in easy 10-second turnarounds for our barricades. And lucky for us, both our supers and our shackle grenade will exploit this. And if we pair that up with Thread of Generation, we can now have a 10-second grenade, as when we deal damage we generate grenade energy. Now you may not think of the shackle grenade applying damage, but it does do a little bit. But literally all your damage goes back into fueling that grenade. Regardless if it's a kill or not, you can literally just lay down the trigger into a boss and you'll be getting your grenade energy back. This is particularly good when dealing with unstoppables by your lonesome, as you will suspend them up, do a bit of damage and have another shackle grenade ready to go again. For our barricade, I prefer rally. I want to be able to shoot what I suspend, and the Woven Mail we get will allow us to tank tons of damage. Now, Thread of Isolation is for those rare occasions when we are not safely behind our barricade and can't quite get Woven Mail. This will debuff our target's damage output, so they can't outright one-shot us like this boss likes to. And Thread of Continuity just puts it all together. Our Suspend, Unravel and Sever effects will have an increased duration. Now, it's a little hard to quantify how much extra Unravel we have here, but by extrapolating what the Sever and Suspend do, it's good enough to get got. Our Sever effects goes from 8 seconds to 11.5 seconds. This repeats again for our suspension, also going from 8 to 11.5 seconds. Now for the last aspect, you could use either, but I would recommend Into the Fray. It'll make our super a lot tankier, but most importantly, by destroying tangles we'll get Woven Mail. And especially at GM level, you really want that resist. I'm expecting a nerf sometime this season, as Woven Mail has just got stacks and stacks of resist, and it's honestly quite surprising what we can tank with this. Saying that, I really hope it doesn't. Now I'd recommend picking up your favourite strand weapon, because in season 21 we have Strand Soldier, Improved Unraveling and Conductive Needle. These will grant us unraveling rounds when we have Woven Mail, so all the damn time. Unraveling does more damage, and when a target is debuffed by Strand, it'll buff our teammates' Void and Arc abilities. In terms of our stats, all we really want to worry about is maxing out both our Discipline and Resilience. There will be a dim link in the description below if you want to go copy paste. For those who don't, our mods follow. We're running Finders and Scouts, a siphon for our corresponding weapons, a loader for your primary weapon, double stacking bolstering detonation, this feeds barricades on grenade damage, double stacking resist to match our encounter threat. Emergency reinforcement is an absolute lifesaver. I honestly won't run a GM without it. I know a lot of you are missing your resilience this season with that nerf, but with this mod, combined with that of woven mail, you could honestly run just 40 resilience and you would still feel like a tank. Stacks on stacks will give us 2 for the price of 1 on our armor charges. We use recuperation and innovation to feed us back chunks of health and reduce our grenade cooldown on orb pickup. Double stacked bomber, this helps there too, and Reaper will help feed us orbs. You got 10 spots to save your builds and this needs to be one of them. It has a unique position that you play it both aggressively and safely. If you got any questions or suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. Make sure to thumb it if you liked it, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.